Okay, good morning, everyone. Just give me a minute. I'm just trying to log in from another device.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, I hope you're able to hear me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We have technical logged in from two distinct devices. So I request you people to, cooperate with me. Good morning, everyone. I hope you are able to hear me.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Yes. Yeah, we have a little of technical glitches here, so I request you to tolerate with this. Okay, very wonderful morning to everyone. I'm getting to see a lot of young faces here. It's really indeed a honor. I thank the P-Value team for inviting me for this session. Yes, it is really nice to see, all of you to be part of this program. You will never be disappointed. That is rest assured from us. So you're going to have a fun learning session with all of us. Okay, so let's start our today's session.
Ma'am, we are unable to hear you actually. There's a bit of network problem, I think.
Yes. Yeah, there is a little bit of network problem. That's the blessing we have here. We can't help. Yep. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, I hope this is clear now. Fine. Today I'll be taking up the session called "Be the Change You Want to See." So when I say this,
Ma'am, we are not able to hear you.
Ma'am, actually,
Hello.
we cannot hear you.
okay, are you able to hear now?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Hello? Okay, are you able to hear me now?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, so that's good to hear. I'm extremely sorry about the technical issues we've had. Okay, let's restart. So, what is innovation? So, these are the basic content that I will be covering up with a small story. Have you all seen this? How many of you have seen this? This is given a lot of importance of late, and everybody has a feeling that without this, the monitoring of the basic vitals does not happen at home at all. Yes, anybody? Has anybody seen this? Isn't it pulse oximeter?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So what does a pulse oximeter do? I request, see, let us have one, thought. If if at all we make a point to keep this an interactive session, it's going to be interesting. Otherwise, it's going to be very boring for all of us, including me and you. Yes. So what a pulse oximeter does exactly? So what exactly does is, do you see, to see this ticking number, owing to COVID pandemic, we all have this, panic, of looking into the saturation levels, SpO2, nothing but oxygen saturation levels, and the pulse of the patient. So if at all we see anything above 90, it is considered as safety. Earlier, we never had the introduction of this instrument at all. Due to the innovation that has happened, that is the reason we got to know that, there is some small device called pulse oximeter, which can be used over a finger and say that there is a good saturation. So why do I relate to this very well is, of late, I'm managing my kid who has a history of pneumonia, viral pneumonia at home. Okay, because COVID, we cannot take them outside. And I have two geriatric people at home. And I have heard the same thing from many people. They manage way back at home with this simple device. So this is the power of innovation. Very simple, yet very powerful. Now, why do you think innovation is required for all of us? Innovation is something which distinguishes a leader and a follower. We are all busy doing the same thing, we become a follower. If we are innovating small things day in, day out, that is when we become a leader. So, what innovation is not? What do you think innovation is not? So, what do you think innovation is not? Now, let us see. Innovation is not a rocket science. It's definitely not something which only Elon Musk or Steve Jobs or anyone can innovate. Anybody, any one of you people, as a graduate, we can innovate. Just it is that we have to shift our mindset and start looking at the small things. Now, I'll relate this to this image very well. Just read this. My startup is so disruptive. We disruptively disrupt other disruptors. This is definitely not innovation, because having that disruption is not a mandate to have innovation. And this is one very funny image which I just picked up from the internet. Don't mind us. We are just trying to get a 360-degree customer view so that we can give you a better customer service or experience. This is also not innovation. And this image says it all to itself. This is also not innovation. So what is innovation? So before we take up the exact explanation about innovation, I'll tell you the difference between what is innovation and what is creativity. Innovation is nothing but an introduction of new or improved goods, services, processes, etc. Whereas creativity is just in our imagination. We are still in the imaginative process. Now, whatever we imagine, whatever we create, and then we put something into real life usage and application, that becomes an innovation. So I'll put it in a simple term. It is a process and outcome of creating something new and which is also of value. It is a whole process from opportunity, identification of something, how do you ideate, and then it ends with invention. So now, what does this got to do with innovations in, especially in dentistry? I feel in dentistry, everything is an innovation. The best example I relate to is the dental materials that are there. There are so many types of materials that are used for restorations. There are so many types of instruments that are we are using day in, day out. So for me, innovation is everywhere in dentistry. So everything in dentistry is an innovation. So few of the innovations that we have tried and tested. So before we get into it, you have any questions till now or clarifications? Or I hope you're able to hear me. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. So we'll just, so I'll just check quickly the chat box if we have any. Yeah, we have, somebody has sent a message stating that it is measure to get the oxygen saturation. So we'll just continue with our presentation. So the small things that we have tried and tested, I'll just put it across to you. So example one is flashcards, preparing the flashcards that we just tried for the repeaters, for people who gave exams second time. And the second method is teach back technique for the final year clinical batch students. And one research innovation which is already there and used, but GIS, geo information system. And the second one was innovative oral health education material, which was made in the form of a vending machine. So now let's take this one by one. So what did we do for the preparation of the flashcard, So what did we do for preparation of
Hello, ma'am, you're not audible. Hello.
Okay, hello guys. I think there is some technical issues from ma'am's side. This is Dr. Vinit. I forgot to tell you something regarding the research grant. By the time ma'am connects, we'll talk about the research grant. Now, we will give you a research template, a protocol template, and on the basis of that template, you're supposed to write a research protocol. So, three best protocols will be awarded as research, will be awarded for research grants of first prize, second prize, and the third prize. And four best research protocols will be considered for an internship program, which is free of cost. So we will explain you how to write a research protocol. Tomorrow, the first topic will be covered on research protocol. And we will send you the research template today itself so that you can have a look and you can have a discussion over it. Tomorrow in the morning, the first lecture will be conducted. So within these 2 days, you have to complete a research protocol and we will, and then you have to mail it to us, your research proposal. The jury members will check the research proposal and will, on the basis of which we'll select three best research proposals and four participants for internship program. I hope I am clear with this. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the chat box also, and you can put up in the group, the WhatsApp group also. If you have any doubts, I can answer it. I think ma'am has joined already. Yes, you have to submit it till the end of this webinar, as in till 5 o'clock on the third day of 18, on third day of the webinar on 18. You can post your questions, and we will, if you have any queries, we will deal it with at the end of the webinar to after every day's session, and we'll respond to all the questions you have asked. Research template will be put up in the WhatsApp group also, as well as we'll mail it to you.
We are extremely sorry, guys. Give us 5 minutes. We are trying to solve the technical issue. We'll get back to you soon.
Okay. Dr. Anita is trying to get connected. I think she's here. Ma'am, you can switch off your video. And you can carry on with it. Thank you. Thank you.
I request any of the volunteers to just inform me if there is any voice glitches. I'll put the video off. All right. Yeah. Sorry, guys. That is small. Issue. Okay. Are you able to see my screen, all of you? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah. First, we'll go to the first this thing that we have tried. So I'll be sharing those flashcards indeed with all of you who can give feedback. So what we did was these flashcards, we tried something called as brain writing process. So which follows a rule of 6, 3, and 5. I will explain to you what it is. So what is brainstorming? Anybody has any answer? Brainstorming generally happens that people, 3 to 6 people, you sit across in a team of on a table, and you pick up a topic and you add in your expertise and you start thinking in a very nice way, and the best solution will be put forth. But what happens with this kind of a brainstorming session is there are a set of people, they will not actually, if they are not willing to speak up, they how I was earlier, I wouldn't speak up so easily. It only happened after I joined Toastmaster. I started voicing out my thoughts and processes. So what happens is, what about those people who are very intelligent and those who hesitate to speak up in front of everyone? They might have the best solution in their hand, but they will not speak up, and they don't want to tell what is the best idea that they have on mind. So what I did was, a piece of paper was taken and we took 6 students in a group and we told them all the 6 will get chance to write 3 ideas. Okay, and the paper will be circulated 5 times. So that is the number, 6 members in the team, 3 circles or 3 rounds the paper will be circulated, and 5. Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yes. So this is what is the meaning of 6, 3, and 5. So now what happens when the 6 members are in the board, and what happens when they start actually, and the time duration is 5 minutes. It cannot be more than that. So 5 minutes actually. So what happens when they take up, this kind of an idea? They have to pick up, and the first problem that I posed to them was, what do you think is the problem with the theory classes that we are taking, and how do you think it can be solved, and how do you think it can be improved upon? So they started writing and they circulated it for 3 rounds, all these 6 members, and they wrote down these ideas. Okay, so they came up with totally 3 into, I think 5, 3 into 3 rounds they circulated, and all the 6 members, 3 6 the 18, totally 18 solution they came up to as a first round. Totally round of 3 rounds. Okay, so what do we do with this ideas and information? So many points are there. Next, what we did was, we gave them 3 colors of stickers following the traffic signal: red, yellow, and green. And we asked them to stick down to whichever they feel is the best top 3 solution for whatever the problem that they have identified. And then we counted the number of stickers that they have put for the green one as the topmost priority. And again, further, the top 3 was picked up from that. And we identified that the best solution for the problem that we're talking about is preparing visual based information for better recall and understanding. That is when the concept of flashcard came into picture, and we have developed round about 60 to 75 flashcards. I'll be very happy to share that, and which I will be sharing. And once the examination got over, these children, they came over and they told me that this is indeed, one of the best method, because we were only asked to identify what is the problem, and we only created solution, because they were only asked to, reduce the paper size to A5, and they had to come up with the flow charts and mind maps and concept notes, everything. So that again they were trained and they prepared. Okay, so this is about brain writing concept. So next, coming to the teach back technique. This was another best technique that we tried in tested and tried, and we found it was very effective. Was we would divide the syllabus of whatever the clinical teaching had to happen amongst the children or the students who would come for clinical postings. Of course, initially the instigation or initiation from the teacher would happen, and in the end, again, debriefing session also would happen. So what we did was they would go on talking about the content of the topic that comes up to them. And the best part of the story was it would not last for more than 2 minutes to 5 minutes. So they were very happy because the syllabus both come in, and they would also start preparing. And बहुत easy है. कल clinical preparation ऐसा है कि 3 मिनट या 5 मिनट हमें बात करनी है, and not more than one para we have to prepare. That was a kind of a thing they had on mind. So how we would do is we would put the whole team, and once when one person presents for 5 minutes, all the other 5 people had to act like an examiner, and they had to shoot at least one question per head, and that was clarified by the teacher and of course the person whoever explains. Most of the time we as a teacher would explain to them much in detail and example. So initially we found it a little difficult because getting them prepared was a challenge, because most of the time we had to come prepared. But trust me, over a period of time, the whole batch, they enjoyed it so much that they indeed started applying this technique to prepare for their final examination too. So we recently created one oral health education material where we created a vending machine. So unlike, just trying to tell them make a poster and just make an education material video, because there is no college happening. So what we did was we repeated the brain writing technique again, and all the six, this is a different batch of final years, and we made them sit down and write down what do you think is the conventional health education material that we are providing is, problem with it. And then what do you think should be the solution? So beautifully they came up with, and they said gamification, that which they can touch, feel and understand and replicate, and tell us back what they have understood is the best method that is good. So we developed, indeed our students, find their students, they developed a vending machine. Once they press, the health education instruction comes, and a piece of either toothbrush or a toothpaste with the instruction attached to that comes. And especially children, they would they would enjoy so much that they started using it more. And we also put a word to the teachers: whoever wants to give away some kind of a service or some money can donate it to this vending machine. So we will buy the material and we'll put it to the vending machine, and it will be available in the entrance of the college. So this was one of the recent, not even a week's old time that we did. So these are the three examples. Not a very big innovation, I would say, but there was a lot, it had a lot of advantage. So what do you think is the advantage that happened with us was, first, there was 100% participation from all the students who were part of the clinical postings or the classes. And of course, it is more appropriate for a small group training. And yes, it was more impactful. They remembered and recalled all the information that they were trained for, since they were participating. And they also came up with some small yet simple and profound and impactful innovation, which they used, and they kept trying it, testing it, adding on the feedback, and they kept, revamping whatever they have innovated. So these are the three examples I had to share with you, how it was tested and tried, because I didn't want to give the general examples and confuse you people telling that, Elon Musk came up with a rocket idea and he's going to come up with a spaceship, and that this person came with that, and etc. So I just wanted to give you simplistic examples just to make you understand that innovation need not be something very big beyond our imagination or as such. It is just that the simplistic solutions that we come up with, that we can use it on a day-to-day basis and test, try, add a feedback, over and over, repeat the same thing at least a few times, so that it becomes your own personal innovation over a period of time. So with this, I would like to end my session and say thank you. If anybody has any question, you can ask me. there were a lot of examples indeed, but I have restricted myself just to putting one or two examples so that it will not be confusing. So I'll be very happy to share if you want any additions of information. So you have any questions or queries, you can just put it across. So I'm hoping to see you a few questions. Yes. So we have one question here that says that, can you please explain the 635 technique? Hello, are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay, so 635 technique is nothing but, where 6 members will be put in a team. I repeat that again, 6 members will be put in a team, and the sheets will be passed. We would have put 3 ideas per head, but that will not happen on a single go, but it will be circulated 3 times. So if I get a chance of writing one idea at the first time, 7th time I'll get the idea, chance of writing the second idea. I like the third idea, like that. Okay, so what happens is, after all the 5 members finish, my turn comes for that, second idea, third idea. Is it clear? And this lasts for not more than 5 minutes. So that is the meaning of 6, 3, and 5. Trust me, this can be used for anything. It can be used for anything. Okay, so you can try it for, if at all you're planning for any trip, if at all you're planning for any research, small research idea which you feel is, that needs to be strengthened up. See, doing it alone I wouldn't recommend at all. You please do it with the complementing of ideas and thoughts from your friends and your team. That is the best thing I would recommend. Okay, next question we have: how do you think the innovation differs from research? I would say innovation, the basement for innovation is research. Okay, we might innovate, accidentally, serendipitously, but we have to be scientifically based and justified. Only then research acts as a basement for innovation. So that is difference between innovation and research. Yes, anybody has any other questions? So why don't you just switch on your video and have an interaction like how we do, or you can plan for a brain writing session. So what I'll do is, in the afternoon session, we'll have a small brain writing session also. So you'll get to know how it can be used across in different processes and different, places, and how it effectively helps you solve different issues. It can be as simple as, planning for a trip, or it can be as simple as coming with a very small research idea, and now itself you decide that I don't want my research to be just research, I want it to be innovation. So somebody can pick up the 635 idea itself in, coming up with a flashcard as a research topic, so that there will be ease of learning for some difficult topics in different subjects, or for your entrance examinations. So you can pick up anything you want. So if anybody has any other questions? Yes, Vineet, you want to tell something about the session you want